Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you a couple of clips about Canada's highly skilled immigrants leaving Canada. Now, I've been talking a lot about them staying, like the bad ones wanting to come in at a rapid rate, but the problem is a lot of the good ones are leaving. Let's just watch this and then talk about it.
Canada's most capable immigrants are, in fact, most likely to leave.
A new study by the Institute for Canadian Citizenship analyzes 40 years of immigration data and found that 1 out of 5 permanent residents leave Canada within 25 years. The most capable, those with master's degrees or PhDs, leave at twice the rate of someone with a bachelor's degree. They're more likely to move on faster.
The 5 year departure rate for immigrant healthcare workers is 36%. That's the same for scientists. The 5 year departure rate for experienced executives is 193% above average.
Human resource professionals say the government is good at recruiting immigrants, but needs to develop a policy to retain them, which includes recognizing their foreign work credentials.
The main thing is just really giving people that sense of inclusion, that sense of belonging, that sense that they can contribute their, bring all the whole assets, knowledge, skills, and experience they have.
The Institute projects that within 5 years, more than 20,000 immigrants will leave. Mishra will be among them.
In Canada, I'll probably never achieve my potential. But in a place like America, I always have a chance.
Experts say the federal government's decision to freeze immigration levels for the next 3 years will further reduce the talent pool needed to grow the economy.
Canada's most
Okay, in all honesty, that was like a hodgepodge of a bunch of weird clips. Like some people were complaining about not reaching their potential. It didn't really say what was the real issue, and I find it pretty terrible that like CTV is doing this, and this is like our mainstream source of news. So I know a lot of immigrants that are thinking about leaving, and ones that have come here with great credentials, like nurses and doctors, but they're not recognized here, so they take on other jobs. They have families, and then they never do what they were really, they got the point system, they came in here, but they're not actually going to ever do what their credentials are. So it's kind of pathetic. And they had one clip here talking about a guy that was just like, oh, I'm never going to reach my potential in Canada, so maybe I'll go to the US. Like he didn't say why. And that's the whole thing. Why aren't they? Why aren't the credentials recognized? And what are we going to do about it? Like they're doing basically nothing about it. And that's the ridiculous part. Let's watch another clip and then we can talk about all of it.
He knew exactly what to do because he was a trained medical doctor from Pakistan. But in Canada, he had to do Uber and a second job at Home Depot because the system wouldn't recognize his qualifications. The almighty Canadian experience needed to be there. The sad thing is, his story is very common in Canada. Canada is often sold as paradise on earth. Blue skies in the summer, crystal clear lakes, clean streets, polite people, winter like something out of Frozen. This is the Canada you were promised. In brunches.
I totally agree from this. This is what Canada does. They mentioned in the other video, they say Canada, they show all the blue skies, what a great place it is. So they have this like tourism board promoting Canada saying, "Oh, come to Canada and it's such a great country." And then when they get here, there's so many of them are so disappointed. So we're letting all like the really terrible ones in often, and then the good ones we actually get, they want to leave and they know that they're leaving, but they're not really giving a very good picture. So it's almost like a bait and switch is what we're doing. We show them like an amazing vision, and then they get here and they're just like utterly disappointed. They can't find a job. So it's really terrible. I mean, what a mess the whole immigration system is. Let's just keep watching.
Webinars, and all those YouTube what to expect videos. And then you land. But here's the part they don't tell you. Without a job, you won't even have the presence of mind to enjoy what Canada has to offer. Where one person sees a winter wonderland, another sees a dark cold place where they have to catch a bus under -30, which by the way is colder than your freezer. You're too tired, too broke, too stressed to enjoy the beauty. Because beauty doesn't pay rent. So you start applying for jobs. roles you're qualified for. Hundreds
Okay, I think you get the idea here. Basically, it's just they paint a rosy picture, and then when you finally get here, reality comes in, and it's really terrible. Like they start applying for jobs, they have their credentials, and then they maybe eventually get a job, but maybe not, or it's just not as good as they thought it was gonna be, and then they eventually go home. And I actually have some immigrant friends here. One of them was a pharmacist in Brazil. His wife was a nurse, and now they're not using those skills at all. And actually, they're happy here, but that's because they have a family. They like other parts about Canada, and they've made it work. But so many people are thinking about leaving. And I have friends in the tech industry. And the reason why they might leave is just because we don't have good jobs here. They're working for kind of a branch office in from an American company in Canada, but of course, they may eventually, if they got a better job in the US, they might go to Seattle or Silicon Valley where they pay way more. And so, like, they're fairly mobile because, they came here and they've only been here for a few years and they're not like, I'm going to stay here permanently. Like, how do we get the good ones actually wanting to stay? And that's a huge problem. And I hope we solve that. Yeah, let's not bring in the bad ones, but let's get more good ones, recognize their skills, or make it very easy to do some kind of exam to like a rapid testing system. And they've talked about this a lot in the past, but like it's still way too long. Like people have families. The ones that come over here, they're looking for a better life now, not in like 2 or 3 years. And by that time, they might even leave. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the realities of immigration in Canada when you're looking for a job, and then how disappointed clearly many immigrants are, and then why the good ones may actually leave in the future. I hope you like and subscribe to this video, and we'll see you on the next one.